right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're finally in the grand finals, the qualifying match for WCS Shanghai Oceania qualifiers. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the Mongolian monster himself, the mammoth himself. Give it up for Sioras. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Zerk player representing Exile 5. We've seen a couple of his ZvZs. We'll see how this one goes. Give it up for KingkOng. And I do apologize, guys. I know there was a delay. There's a delay, so I saw all of you guys as soon as you started complaining about the audio music level. And I fixed it as soon as I saw it, as soon as it was there. Unfortunately, that does mean that it's on a 3-minute delay, so I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. But alright, KingkOng going for the hatch first. Same as, oh, Sioras actually. I think that was a spawning pool first. So not going for the hatch first over here. So Sioras may be playing a little bit more defensively, a little bit safer, concerned about potential aggression from KingkOng. Again, I'm going off of this basis of knowledge from Zerg players telling me that, you know what, there's no reason not to go for a hatch first unless you feel like you're going to be up against some sort of aggression. Zergling speed is going to get started immediately though, and Sioras is going to leave 2 drones on gas, so he's going to eventually be able to get up to that lair tech, maybe throw down a baneling nest if he feels like he needs it. But I have seen, again, specifically KingkOng really try and skip that baneling nest quite often and just go straight into the roaches. He's done this in multiple ZvZs, and I'm interested to see if he's going to do it again. He's already played a ZvZ series against Sioras, and, well, we have a decent number of Zerglings already coming out, 6 Zerglings, and he's pooling them up in his main base. Oh, we're going up to 8 Zerglings. Okay, Sioras, I think that he's looking to get pretty aggressive right now. Roachworm popping out. What is Sioras up to? Is Sioras just going to go for a roach speedling all in? No banelings whatsoever? Use this extra hatchery mostly for larva? That may very well be the case. Sitting at 17 drones. That's going to be enough to mine gas with 1 drone and get optimal mining on 1 base. And that's all you really need. Of course, in terms of scouting information, KingkOng is only scouting with that initial overlord. As for Went, all of his other all of his other Zerglings scouting around the map. Where are those Zerglings? Finally, the Zerglings are poking in, but they don't even bother to move past that 3rd expansion. He says, I have a 3rd, my opponent does not. Cool, that's all I really need to know. But what he really wants to know, or really should know, is the fact that all of these Zerglings are moving across the map. Finally, he sees this, and his drones on the way. Well, okay, he has a lot of Zerglings on the way now, so he is going to be getting ready to try and deal with this. We'll see where Sioras decides to spend his time with these Zerglings, the time where he's going to be completely uncontested, immediately going after the queen. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Going after some of these drones. The drones going to try and pull themselves, delay as much time as possible. And Sioras is trying to find an opportunity to get some damage done, but the Zerglings are already out for KingkOng now. And Sioras is unable to make a whole lot more damage happen. He's trying to drone up behind all of this, but by losing all of these Zerglings, it's going to put him in a very, very difficult situation where he's going to have to defend against not only this, but the counter aggression. So whatever droning up he does right now, he's trying to buy enough time so they can get roaches out behind this. And then the roaches can defend against the Zerglings. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, making an equal number of Zerglings or trying to get into a really nice position with banelings or something. He just gets out the roaches. He goes for the block on the ramp with his queens and maybe his roaches if he needs them. But he's still going to be sitting down a 3rd expansion. That is a pretty big deal. He's sitting up a nice number of workers, but down a 3rd expansion. Oh, okay. Well, KingkOng moving across the map, looking for an opportunity to get some damage done. And there are some banelings available, so these banelings might be trying to go for the baneling bust. No, he sees it's not just queens for this Wallen, it's the roaches as well. And he says, okay, well look, you got roaches, you haven't gone for a 3rd. Maybe I can just drone up out of this. He's already sitting up to an even number of workers. Gonna fall behind relatively shortly just because that's the way the droning works. But still, he's in a pretty decent spot as long as he can defend against whatever kind of aggression that Sioras may try and throw out at him. And a big part of that dealing with that aggression is just going to be the fact that KingkOng has so many Zerglings around. He can go for a counterattack. He can try and shut down the 3rd expansion, pull Sioras back into his main base or his 3rd expansion as he tries to deal with Zergling run-bys. But for now, KingkOng is just saying, oh, I love this. He's being really, really adamant about saying, okay, you are not taking hidden expansions, right? He's scouting around at these various locations. And may even be scouting around down over here as well. Just to make sure there's not some weird faster third expansion, but as he sees the third expansion being thrown down with the Overlord, he moves in with the Zerglings and just tries to go, well, not for the kill on the expansion just yet. He's going to go for the kill on the roaches, and I think that the expansion is going to survive because of this, even if he gets a kill on a couple of these roaches. 3 roaches plus a spine crawler and some more roaches popping out soon. Is this going to be enough? Well, actually, oh my god, it looks like it's not. Zerglings are going to be able to run straight into the main base. There is lair tech coming up right now for KingkOng behind all of this, but Sioras already has his lair tech finished up. He's getting up his own Galileo reconstitution. These Zerglings trying to get some damage done. Maybe able to kill off a drone or two. No, doesn't manage to get any over there. Yeah, only 1 drone killed so far by KingkOng. But third expansion is finally going to be able to safely go up. The big question on my mind is the roach count going to be out of control? And no, Sioras isn't straight up in head on roaches. He's sitting 10 roaches to 11. Oh boy. Well, Sioras might be struggling a bit as he moves in the later stages of the game, just because his gas geysers at his new expansion are going to be later. He's sitting down in the worker count by a good bit. Sitting down by 16 workers. That's a lot of workers to be down right now. Even with the faster lair tech, what has he really been able to accomplish with it? +1 missile attacks, evenly timed with his opponent. Galileo reconstitution earlier than his opponent, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to come into effect if he's trying to push up a ramp into his opponent's third expansion. And by the time that really matters and KingkOng tries to get aggressive himself, his own Galileo reconstitution is going to be finished up. So what is Sioras going to be able to do to bring himself back? Oh, definitely not putting himself into a nice concave, because he's in a very, very convex situation. I think that KingkOng also has more roaches and he might be able to take this engagement. Yeah, he definitely takes that engagement. Sioras on the retreat, down in workers, later expansion, down in gas geysers, now soon to be down in roaches. Well, I guess already down in roaches, 24 to 15. And a lot more are going to be pouring out for KingkOng as that next wave of 14 roaches are going to be popping out pretty soon. And Sioras going to be retreating back to the high ground advantage that he has, hoping that that will save him. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. There's a lot of roaches still around for KingkOng. Defender's advantage is going to be useful for Sioras. He's pumping out a lot of those roaches, and the roaches for KingkOng have a long journey to make across the map. Even if they are coming out slowly, it seems like they are still coming out in high enough numbers. Sioras is starting to hold on, though. He's going to push KingkOng back, and KingkOng doesn't want to give up that roach advantage that he has. He's going to just take a 4th expansion. He's just going to say, okay, well, look, I'm being safe behind my aggression. You can't take a 4th expansion while my roach is out on the map. I can take a 4th expansion while you are not out on the map. It's very simple logic. But, ooh, I like this. Burrow coming out from KingkOng. Maybe experiencing a bit of that burrow harassment from Betrayus in that Runes of Seras game in the last series. Saying, hey, you know what? This is my time to try out a little bit of my own burrow play. And catch my opponent a bit off guard. Overseer moves in and scouts out. Well, I guess one thing that he does scout out is that there's no sport crawlers or detection, or, well, there is an overseer over here for Sioras. So he will be prepared for burrowed roaches. At least to a degree. Oh, Evolution Chamber getting corrupted, getting halted. But I think that we're sitting at a point where KingkOng just says, well, Birch Burrow is also very nice. I forgot about this. For just regenerating the health of your damaged roaches. But 4th expansion established, and if he can shut down this 4th expansion for Sioras one more time, he's not only going to be maintaining that 200 supply lead over his opponent with a bank slowly going to start to build up right now. But he's also going to be maintaining that +2 missile attacks lead. That +2 missile attacks lead, because of the corruption, is actually going to play a huge effect in this engagement. Look at this. Only now is +2 missile attacks finishing up. Well, more than halfway through the engagement, I think that KingkOng has already taken a nice roach lead in this engagement. As you can see over here, definitely leading up in that roach count. And if he wins this roach battle, then the 4th expansion is almost assuredly going to go down. GG gets called. KingkOng evening up the series 1-1.